Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy Adventure. In the last part, we rescued Elli from Mr. Lee, and now we're going to continue on towards the next town. Now, I'm surprised I was able to remember that. Why? You see, the thing is, the last part was recorded and rendered on June 15th. It's July 3rd. I haven't done one of these in like 2 weeks. Why? Reasons. Particularly involving some college stuff and, having to go to Newport for a week. But in the meantime, I actually did get some trivia in the game while we continue onwards. It's a pretty linear path, so there's not really much to say. Like, first off, in the Japanese version, Mr. Lee actually kidnapped Elli because he wanted virgin blood, which is kind of gross. There's actually all sorts of little things like that you can find in the game. I have like a little list here, but a lot of them are spoilers for later on in the game. So yeah. And it's also here we also get a new enemy domain, so we're not finally killing the Mudmen anymore. But we do get bees, my god! Is there ever going to be a time where I see a bee that I don't reference the Wicker Man? I don't think so. Pigmen are nothing too bad. In fact, a lot of the weapons here just kill things really quickly. Either way, welcome to the town of Wendell. I actually did recall what it was there for a second. And hey, it's this guy again. Hello again. How have you been? I don't remember what his voice was, so I'm just gonna stick with this now. Wendell as a town doesn't have much going for it. There's a weapon shop here, well, weapon and armor shop, really. I suppose equipment shop's the best way to put it, that I do end up buying an iron armor at. But aside from that, all this place has going for it is the inn, which is pretty useful for if you want to do some grinding around here. I'm not gonna do my grinding for this part here. No, that'll be a bit later on, and it'll be quite the long grinding session. Also there, I did, in fact, do a thing, which was use the inn. Anyway, now we're heading towards the progression point, which is this place right here. This is where the one guy, what's-his-face wanted us to go. I forget this guy's name already, sad to say, because it's been, 2 weeks. Sibba. I'm Shiba. Bogard told me about you. Oh, yes. It sure is the symbol of mana. Step forward. You'll see what you must see. Alrighty then. Oh, I love this song. Elli, my dear. Mom! Mom? That lady. She's the one who encouraged us. I must tell you now, Elli. You and I are members of the Mana family. We're the seeds of the Mana tree. We must guard it. Wendell abused the power of Mana a long time ago. You're missing a word there. So I seal the waterfalls with that pendant, so that nobody can come close to the Mana tree. But again, Glaive is trying to use it for evil. Guard the Mana tree with the Geminites. Well, that was plot. Mom. What the? Glaive is attacking us. What? I'll take you to a safe place. Thank you. Where did he take her? I'll check. By the way, the magic circle in that room in the Japanese version's pentagram. He attacked me from behind. Oh no, Red Mage dude, no, don't be a villain. And now there's Area 1 monsters here, which are no deal at all, really. Just leave the town, you can progress with plot there. Elli! What? Julius! Julius! Why? You helped me once before. I was not sure if she was the right girl. Or not until I saw what happened inside there. I was waiting for this chance to get her. And now, Glaives have her in our hands. Oh, grammar errors. Elli! Ow! You have no chance against me, my dear. Elli. All right. Elli, where is she? Julius took her to the west in his airship. I'm going. Then take this with you. And we got the Book of Heal, which to heal status ailments, any of them. This magic will help you recover. Thanks. And now we're done in this town, rather anticlimactically, well, pretty climactically, all things considered, but rather abruptly, rather. Also, I'm gonna save here just because it's been a while since I last saved. Now, they're not entirely clear on where to go next, aside from the fact you have to head west. Which, you know, I'm used to in these old games, but I kind of wish they at least gave you a general direction you should head in first. Because just heading west is a bit vague. Especially because we have to do something I don't think we've done at this point, which is chop down trees with our axe. Have we done that already? I don't think we have. We've done similar stuff, obviously, but now we can do this. There's two types of things that can happen when you cut down a tree. If it leaves a stump, you can't progress in that square. If it doesn't, though, you can progress past that, no problem. And that there's the dwarf cave, but we'll be going there later, because there's nothing to do there, really. Other than hear dwarfs yell lolly-ho. Our big destination right now is actually this little shop here. We want to come in here because there's an item we need to get into the next dungeon. Which is... oil. Obviously, if you don't have 500 gold, grind up. Thankfully, the enemies around here are pretty good for grinding. Also, as you can see, I sold quite a bit of my items off screen, just to not have a cluttered inventory. Because this game's inventory is rather limited. But thanks to the fact that they at least stack items the way they do, it's not too bad. I mean, I usually have a problem with limited inventories like that, but this one's good. Now, this is the part I really hate. With the place we need to go next, you might not even know that screen exists unless you actually start chopping down trees randomly. Because it's north of us right now. Mind you, I suppose people could be like, hey, there's a pathway up there I could possibly get to, but that still kind of bothers me. I think the remake actually changed a bit of the tracking stuff for the axes and such thing, and they changed a lot of the battle system stuff in general. Now, I gotta notice my HP jumps up a bit there. I grinded about 2 or 3 levels. I think I went to the next level, multiple of 5. I forget, honestly. You're gonna want to cycle here, because you want to hit a lot of the switches that are along the tracks. You don't want to hit the first one, but you do want to hit the second and third. Because that's how you get to our full destination. The end of the tracks, obviously. Or a hole which leads to death. Oh well. Game over. Wow, are you okay? Ouch. Oh. Thanks. Do you know this cave well? Looking for silver? Let's go together then. Watts is a dwarf character, obviously. When you ask him, he actually gives you a miniature shop. So if you want to stack up on Mattox or some good, fairly late-game items, yeah, you could. You also have the Moogle potion here, but that is entirely useless. I'll go over why in the next part when we actually encounter our first Moogling enemy. I forget which one it is, though. Watts, as a character, is actually a bit of a traditional one in the series of Seiken Densetsu, because he shows up, I think, in every single one, though it's a different Watts every time. And a bit of a translation difference. In the Japanese version, he's not looking for silver. In fact, the Dwarf Cave has been mentioning silver a lot, because that's what they use to make equipment around there. But in reality, what they actually are using isn't silver, but mithril, or however the hell you pronounce that. But yeah, this dungeon is pretty simple. There are quite a few caves you need to open up with your Mattox, but as long as you keep that in mind, you should be good. And you can never run out, because, obviously, Watts sells them. It's a pretty short dungeon, too. I forget which status ailment the spiders inflict you with. It's probably poison. I know they can inflict you with one. I know what one enemy does towards the end of the part. That's then, this is now. You know, I had the same problem in Final Fantasy, in the older Final Fantasy games, 4 specifically. But I wish that the caves had more musical variety. Also, use some last shopping stuff here with Watts if you need to. Because it's time for the boss, the Megapede. He likes to go in a figure 8 formation around the world, no matter which direction he comes from. So your basic strategy is just to try and whip him in the head. Not that hard. In fact, at my level, he's honestly really easy. He can be kind of annoying due to the fact that he has a lot of invincibility frames. You can only hit the head as far as I'm aware. But honestly, he really shouldn't give you any trouble. He doesn't even have any real attacks as far as I'm aware. Also, yeah, if you can't tell, Axe as a battle companion throws axes. Or, axe, yes, that's a word. I said axe as a companion, didn't I? Oh well. Either way, we found some mithril, silver, whatever. I'll take it back and forge armor and swords. Gaia will let you in if you wear silver stuff. Come see me at the dwarf cave. And yes, we needed to do this because that silver equipment, or mithril equipment, is needed to progress, because there's a cave to the northwest you could try and enter. But if you didn't have silver equipment on, you wouldn't be permitted to enter, for whatever reason. Apparently the planet's very specific about where you cannot have non-mithril equipment. You know, I kind of wish the planet in Final Fantasy VII did that, because then Sephiroth would be really screwed. Then again, he'd probably still find a way. Freaking Sephiroth. Mind you, I like Sephiroth more than Vice the Immaculate, but then again, that's just Dirge of Cerberus. Mind you, I don't mind Dirge of Cerberus, but I have problems with its plot. Anyway, welcome to the Dwarf Cave. I love the music here. You're looking for Watts in specific here. He's the one who's moving faster. I made some things out of silver. Take these and you can pass through Gaia. Now we have silver armor, shield, and swords here, but they actually have more than just defense boosts and attack boosts. They actually have special effects to them. The silver sword kills more enemies than the other weapons could, like can kill undead enemies. The silver armor protects against certain, and I think any magic spells, status related at least. And the shield just upgrades your capacity to block projectiles. Anyway, we want to head for that little Gaia area he mentioned. It's actually technically, I think, called the Gaia Cave. But it's been forever since I played Sword of Mana, so I don't recall at this point. Now, the Gaia Cave is pretty short. It's pretty much just here to be a wall for you to get the... Whoa! Frame loss? It's pretty much just a wall for you not to be able to progress until you get the silver stuff. Gold can be sold for like 750 gold, I think, or GP or whatever. So that's pretty cool. And whenever you go in between these demons, a door opens and closes, so you need to kind of abuse that power to get past them. Wait, Alan. Bogart! Elli was taken by Glaive. Seba told me about that. Julius is good at disguising, but don't worry, we can save her. Glaive's airship is refueling at the lake up north. I'll come with you and help. Let's go. Was that the voice I used for him? I don't recall. Either way. As a battle, he just kind of stabs things. And if you ask him, he tells you something about the Geminites. Now, the werewolves here are excellent for level grinding. To the point that in between parts, I will be grinding to level 30. Yeah, you heard me right. 30. It's ridiculous. Also, they can inflict dark on you, but I'll go over that next part. But with that, I'm going to need to end this off here. Thank you guys for watching, and in part 4, we'll be heading towards that airship. See you guys then.